Hi, guys and gals. Al Smith here. Today, we're going to talk about what you should do if the opponents interfere after your partner opens a strong two clubs. Obviously, they probably screwed up your response system. For example, if your partner opened two clubs and the opponent bids two spades, you can no longer use two diamonds waiting. You need to have a different method to describe your hand after the opponents interfere. Okay, to decide what the best approach is, first of all, we have to decide what is important and in what sequence. Well, it's two attributes. One is, as the responder, you want to be able to tell the opener about the strength of your hand and the shape of your hand. And the more specific you can be, the better it is. All right. Now, in terms of these two attributes, which one is the most important? Well, your partner's opened a strong two clubs, so he or she has a strong one or two suited hand, or a very strong balanced hand. The most likely is a strong one suited hand. So, the most important piece of information to him or her is how many controls you have. What's your trick-taking capability? And we describe this in terms of the number of aces and kings. You know, it's much better than high card points. For example, four high card points could be four jacks, it could be two queens, or it could be one ace. Knowing that four high card points is one ace is much more specific and much more important. The second attribute is to shape your hand, and this is most important when your partner has a balanced hand or you have a singleton or void in your partner, what you expect to be your partner's bid suit. So now we can actually the first we should describe is strength because this has is the most probable piece of useful information. And then with our second bit, we can describe the shape of the hand. All right, another dimension of what we should how we should be approaching this is we want to be able to punish the opponents, their impunity, if they just jump in the auction trying to screw up your response system. So it's really important to be able to punish them. Okay. And several years ago at a regional, somebody taught this to us, and I'm just passing it on to you. And what we're going to use is a system based on control points. Okay, and in this, an ace counts for two and a king counts for one. And the first step, we've got step one, two, three, or as many as you want. And it's based upon the number of control points. And the first four steps are what's really important. Okay, the first step says I've got zero or one control points. So at most, you've got one king. The second step is two control points. And it says you've got one ace or two kings. Now, three and four both indicate you have three control points. Okay, and step three says I've got one ace and one king exactly. And step four says I've got three kings. So you can see how this is being very specific in terms of describing your trick-taking ability. All right, now let's look at how it actually unfolds in terms of the bids. Okay, and just as a comment to begin with, I really don't like dopey and ropey. It's just pretty, my brain just doesn't process it. So I like this one. It's much simpler to me. Okay, and we've got really, let's take a look at this. If your partner opens two clubs and the opponent doubles, okay, if you're sitting there with a stack of clubs behind that opponent, you want to be able to punish that person. So to punish them, you're just simply going to redouble. If your partner opens two clubs and they bid two spades, you've got a bunch of spades behind that opponent and points, you're going to double. You've got the ability to punish them. All right. Now, let's take a look at these two scenarios where you've got a double. How are you going to respond? Well, after they double, we're going to use pass to indicate step one. Okay, we've got 0, 1 control points. Okay, why are we passing? Well, the opener may have clubs. We're going to leave the decision as to what the two club opener is going to do to describe their hand. They may have clubs, they may have diamonds. We don't want to restrict them in any way. So we're going to use pass as step one. We're going to use two diamonds, which is indexed one off of the two club opening as step two, three, four, and five. Okay, now if the opponent bid a suit, what we're going to do is double if we want to punish them, and then we're going to index off the opener's bid for each one of these other steps. So we need to remember what the bids means in relationship to the steps so we can make the appropriate bid. Like I said before, I really don't like dopey and ropey in this situation at all. These are much more exact and easier to remember. All right, let's take a look at a couple of examples here. In this first hand, our partner opens two clubs. Nice four loser. Okay, and the opponent jumps in the auction and doubles. Well, what's most likely here is that the opponent is making a lead directing double. It's got the ace of clubs, the king of clubs, maybe the ace and king of clubs, who knows? But you're sitting there as a responder with six clubs, okay? And you know pretty well that your partner's going to bid spades. So what do you want to do here? Do you want to tell your partner you've got two control points by bidding the step two bid? Or do you want to punish the opponents? Obviously, you want to punish the opponents, especially if they're red and you're black. Okay, you can get gobs and gobs, zillions of points. Okay, so you're going to redouble. Okay, and you're redoubling for penalty. Now, what is the opponent going to do? Well, I don't know if they've got a suit or not, but they're going to search around and they're just in deep Shimsky. All right, let's look at a second example. Here, your partner opens two clubs again, and they jump in by bidding three clubs. And go, well, oh my goodness, what in the heck are they doing? You've got five clubs sitting behind them. Should you double for penalty, or should you tell your partner about your control points? Well, it really comes down to how many tricks you think you can set them and the vulnerability. If let's say that you're vulnerable and they're not, they can get set three tricks and still get a better score if you've got a game contract. So in this case, because I think I can get a better score by responding, I'm going to describe my hand and the number of controls. Okay, and because I have only one control, I'm going to pass. That's step one. So I've got 0 or 1 controls. Okay, and now the opener is going to bid a two spades, and now I can decide what I want to do. Okay, now since I know they've got 20, they've got a four loser hand, I've got them down to 3 because I've got the king of spades. So I'm going to feel fairly secure bidding 4 spades. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Remember, the goal is to maximize your score. Doesn't matter, not being the declarer, not making the contracts, and maximizing your score. And in this case, we're assuming that we're vulnerable. They're not. So the maximum score is going to be making a game at 620. So that's why we're going to go ahead and bid here instead of doubling. Okay. So you can see pretty straightforward. Okay. So what are we going to do now? In this next example, we still have a strong two club open. The opponent doubles. Okay, and we've got a balanced hand. We want to be able to describe our hand. So what we're going to do is we want to bid 2 spades. That's step 4. Remember, we've got pass, 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, 2 spades. Okay, that's step 4. It says we've got exactly 3 kings. Okay, now that information, if we look at it from the opener's perspective, says, okay, he's got 3 kings and no aces. I'm going to lose a club. It says, I've got the ace of diamonds, so I know my partner has the king of diamonds, and I know my partner now has the king of spades. So he's feeling pretty good about this. He bids 3 spades, pass. The responder now bids 4 no trump, initiating 30-14 kickback. So we can use kickback in relationship to this. We haven't eliminated the ability to use our other slam conventions. Keep that in mind, because everything in terms of using 30-14, using the trump suit slam conventions and so forth is still all available. Okay, so the opener comes back and says, well, I've got one or three. Bid step one, bids five clubs and goes, oh, well, okay, my partner's got three aces. All right, cool. Okay, he says, what do I want to know? I want to know if my partner has the queen. So he can tell us the queen ask and comes back and says, yeah, I got the queen plus the king of hearts. He said, hey, that's hot diggity. I'm just going to go ahead and bid six spades. So you can see how this can be used in conjunction with everything else that you've learned. And what it does, it eliminates the ability of the opponents to screw around with you by throwing in interfering bids. It preserves the capability to punish them, and it also preserves the capability by leveraging the opponent's bid to more exactly describe your hand. Let's look at another example here. Okay, and in this one, your partner opens two clubs, they double. Now, what do you want to do here? Well, first of all, you want to describe the strength of your hand. You know that your partner is going to bid two spades. That suit's going to be spades. You're hoping against hope that he or she doesn't bid spades. But what you're going to do is describe your hand. You're going to bid the step one response. You're going to pass and go step one. You got 0 or 1. In your case, you know you've got 0. Okay, your partner comes back and bids two spades. You knew they were going to do that. The opponent passes. And what are you going to do now? Well, you want to describe the shape of your hand. Okay, when you're describing the shape of your hand, if you're going to bid a new suit in this particular case, you're saying, hey, partner, I don't have crap in your suit. I probably have 0 or 1. Okay. And what I'm doing is promising you at least or as many cards in my suit as you have in yours. So he bids three diamonds, and it says it's 5 plus suit. He's got 0 or to 2 maximum in the opener suit. Probably that should be 1. I'm going to change it to 1. Okay, and the opener bids three spades, pass, and he bids 4 diamonds. All right. Now, uh, what is the opener going to do? He says, well, okay, he hates my spades. I've got the king of diamonds. He's got at least 6 of those sucker. He bids 5 diamonds, and that's the game contract they're in. Okay, so you can see how that convention, that approach works after the opponents interfere after 2 clubs. So I hope you have a great day, and this is really a valuable convention that's used after the opponents interfere. It saved me many times. Have a great day.